Hey guys, thanks for tuning us in for this 40th episode of Good Questions with Cameron Dole. Special guests for this episode include author Deantee Calip, country singer Jimmy Charles, actor and debuting director Michael Fishman, and rock legend Rob Halford. If you would, please take the time to subscribe, drop a like, comment, leave some feedback, and share with your friends. Up first is author Deantee Calip. He's got a brand new book we'll be talking about, Those Calip Sisters. We have a little Southwest Oklahoma flavor too. Deantee Calip, and got a brand new book we're going to talk about. And first off, Deantee, thank you so much for your time, brother.
Man, I appreciate you for having me, sir.
Now, Deantee, when did the writing bug? This was kind of threw me for a loop from out for left field. I mean, you got so many things, so many irons in the fire. But how did this book come to take place?
Well, honestly, Cam, this is something that I've wanted to do. This has been in the works for, I would say, at least 5 years now. So during the pandemic, I just felt like it had to get done. So I don't know if you know, but I started off in the music industry, so I've been writing poems and writing lyrics pretty much all my life, and I just, decided to convert it over to something more kid-friendly.
Now, what specifically about the pandemic was it that made you decide that the timing was right?
Well, I was laid off of my job during the time, so I had a lot of free time. So I was like, man, this is the perfect time, to just get this done. So the pandemic was kind of a blessing at the same time.
And how has that been for obviously writing poetry, writing lyrics, and things like that? Do you find it easier to find inspiration at this time?
Yeah, I'm working on my second book actually, so I'm still motivated. The fire is still there for sure.
Now tell us about the book, the Calip Sisters. Those Calip Sisters. Sorry, tell us a little bit about the book.
Those Calip Sisters is dedicated to my 4 daughters, Nasaya, Lola, Anaya, and Alea. They're my everything. So, if something was to happen to me tomorrow or today, I just wanted to have something I could leave for them. So the book is about them. You really just have to purchase it and read it to get a good feel for it. But the only thing I can really let go is that the girls have superpowers, and, it's about sisterhood, and it's about loving yourself and about having good self-esteem. So, it's something for the kids for sure.
And Deantee, right now, obviously, it's a time. There's so much strife. I mean, there's race, there's politics, there's COVID-19. Whether you wear the masks, whether you don't, how cool is it for you if you could just put a smile on somebody's face and let them know that they're special as well?
Yeah, that means everything to me. That's my purpose. That's honestly why I do what I do. I love seeing people smile. I love giving back. So that is my drive and my passion in life.
Now, you talked about a second book. Is it along the same lines, or are you kind of changing it up?
We are switching it up completely. It's about a little young boy and the love for his Yorkie. So I love Yorkies. I'm not really a dog guy, but I love Yorkies. So.
Well, mine is sleeping on the back of my love seat right now, so she will be very pleased whenever she wakes up and hears about that.
We'll definitely have to let her read it.
Deantee, you have you've been so active and involved in helping with youth programs and things like that over the years. And how much do you miss that in these times? Because I know pandemic-wise, not a lot of that kind of stuff is going on these days.
Yeah, I miss it. That part is very, very unfortunate. I'm more of a hands-on kind of guy, and if I can't really touch the people or, be face-to-face, it hurts. So I do miss it a lot.
And what other kind of works you got going on out there? Like we said, we got the writing. We got you still doing some music stuff as well?
I have a couple artists that I manage. I'm more behind the scenes. So yeah, I have 2 artists out of Texas that I'm managing right now. One in Nebraska.
And obviously that's a challenge these days. How is managing an artist during pandemic times? I mean, what is that like?
It really I guess it depends on your connection. So my artists are staying busy always.
That means you're doing right.
For sure. So, I was blessed to know some people that I know.
And what's the next? Obviously the book, what's next for Deantee? What's going on next week?
Next week, just trying to be a better man, just trying to improve, be a better son, be a better friend. That's really about it.
And about the book, where do folks find out more information about those Calip Sisters, where they can buy a copy of it, and also keep up with everything else you got going social media wise?
You can purchase the book on Amazon.com. I cut a good deal with Amazon, so shout out to them. I appreciate everything they've done for me so far. You can just purchase the book on Amazon. Just search those Calip Sisters, and it'll come right up. We have paperbacks and hard copies as well.
All right. Well, again, Deantee Calip, it's been great to visit with you, brother. It's we sent many texts, I think, for about the last 2 years. It's good to finally get you on the airwaves.
Yes, I really appreciate you, Cameron. I know you're a busy man, so thank you for the opportunity for sure.
Well, those Calip Sisters, be sure and get your copy. And Deantee, we'll have to catch up again real soon, my friend.
My man, take care.
Again, find more information about that book on Amazon. Up next, singer, songwriter Jimmy Charles will be visiting about his new music and a new single we'll be talking about, and a quarantine situation as well. Jimmy, first off, thanks so much for taking the time, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Now, Jimmy, first off, if folks haven't heard the name Jimmy Charles, don't know the backstory on him, tell us a little bit about how you got to this point so far. I know you got a new single that's released that already has a lot of acclaim as well.
Yeah, man, that's a lot to say. I've been in Nashville for 10 years now. I've been traveling all across the country. I grew up in the eastern shore of Maryland in a place called Ocean City, a beach town. Moved here and just got to work, man. It's been a lot of hard work. And, I've been using a lot of my music. A big part of me is using my music to do good in people's lives and to save lives even. And I've been able to do that with a song called Superman that I wrote with a cancer survivor 5 years ago, and then became the national spokesperson for Zero, the end of prostate cancer, and have traveled the country bringing awareness for men to get checked with prostate cancer. Still continue to do that. And that song continues to bring that awareness and a lot of hope. And then now, our new project, which focuses on addiction, we have the very serious part of my artistry, but if you come to one of my concerts, I'm going to be all over the stage and we're going to be having fun. And, and then we'll take time with those serious moments. But, the new Hard Way to Go music video that just premiered on CNT, so excited about that. We've actually, as of yesterday, we have helped 10 people into recovery, the road to recovery, which is absolutely incredible. Even if we saved one person's life with this, but now we've already had 10, and it's only been out there a week. So super excited about that.
And when you get that kind of feedback or reactions from the music and the work that you're doing, I mean, how rewarding is that? I mean, take the business side away from it, but I mean, personally, how's that make you feel, Jimmy?
Yeah, the business side can be so frustrating, and there's it's this step. Music business is definitely one of the hardest. It's like climbing a slippery slope, and but that's my addiction now is, once I felt that, and I really felt that with Superman, then I've gone on to write songs like We Are Warriors, I'm Not Alone. These are empowering songs for people that are going through hardships, and music really is a window to a soul. It's able to break down barriers that other things can't do alone. And when you have someone hug you or you have someone send a video of them getting chemo while listening to your song, and it's just giving them that strength in that horrible moment, it's just like, what, no matter where my career goes, or I didn't leave my friends and family and go on this journey for no reason, or I didn't do it to just be selfish. I'm giving this to other people, and it's what makes you. If I go tomorrow, I can say that I've done this for these people, and it continues on. And with Hard Way to Go, there's another huge topic that really isn't discussed, and is everywhere, behind so many closed doors. And there's a lot of really great people that suffer from addiction. So the first time I had one of our counselors with Fertava Health, which is one of our partners that's offering nationwide assistance, they said, a guy had reached out to me and said, I lost my wife and all my kids because, of my drinking, and I just want to stop and I want to get help. And I got him in touch with with Fertava, and they ended up, he called me back and said, we've got him. We're helping him. He said he just watched the video and suddenly everything came into realization. It just hit him that he needed to get help. And I mean, that right there is exactly what you sit down to do. And man, I'm getting chills right now just talking about it. And I definitely shed a few tears as well. When you get that kind of news, and it's because it was a long process, and we put my heart and soul into not only the recording, which was an emotional experience, but also the video. And it plays out a part of my past that I didn't remember. I was too young, but when my dad used to my biological father tried to come and pick me up when he was drinking, and I don't have a relationship with him because of that. So it's an emotional experience, but then you can, and I didn't necessarily want to tell that story. I have no reason to. I was adopted by a great man, but I wanted to be able to, that story to help other people. And that's what that storyline did for this one particular person. And when all of that comes full circle, and this person that I don't even know is out there, and it may have saved his family, may have saved his life, maybe whatever, that's incredible to even think about. And I just, it made me tear up, and I just wish the best for him and whoever else this one's going to help.
Now, when you sit down to write a song, obviously you don't know how the reaction's going to be, if somebody's going to react to, if it's going to mean something to them. But whenever, do you ever get completely thrown off by a reaction from a song that being like totally anti where you were going in the first place?
I don't really think I've experienced that too much. I mean, everybody finds themselves differently in songs with their experience. I always said with Hard Way to Go, it's not just about addiction. Other people are there's a lot of different ways of Hard Way to Go. And it does touch on that in the song specifically. However, anybody that's battling through anything can find hope in the song and the words in the song, and a feeling of not being alone. So, it's going to touch different people in different ways. And, you never know. There's a lot of different people out there in the world. You never know. You just kind of hope for the best. There's always these kind of the jitters and the nerves of getting ready to unleash a new song or a big project, because you don't know what people are going to think about it. And let's be honest, there's some mean people out there, that just sit on Facebook and just want to tear things down, no matter how great it is, or how much you're trying to do a good thing. People can be mean, but I have never seen that. I've never seen that. This is news to me. No trolls in your world?
Never heard of that even. Now, I know you got your guitar with you, and I don't know if you have a certain song on your heart that you wanted to share with our listeners today, and I'll let you kind of intro it.
Yeah, I mean, the big one right now is Hard Way to Go. I really encourage everyone to get onto my Facebook and share that video. Like the stories I was telling, I don't know how it got to him, but somebody shared it and it got to him, and now he's possibly and hopefully, doing well. I don't know the update, but you don't know who else we could possibly touch. So please share that, and I want to do an acoustic version for you right now. Mama taught me about the Bible, Daddy taught me about the bottle, and I learned a thing or two alone. Life made me struggle, truth made me humble, fighting feels like grinding on stone. Unless you live like Jesus, some sins are hard to forgive, 'cause there are straight roads and winding roads and ways to get lost. There are wrong turns that have their prices, and you never know. The devil's always pulling at your soul. The right way is the hard way. still forward or fall back. Mama said you can't get anywhere like that. 'Cause there are straight roads and winding roads and ways to get on. There are wrong turns that have their prices and you don't know. The devil's always pulling at your soul. The right way is the hard way to go. Late at night I get on my knees and pray. I can feel my sins get washed away. Yeah. There are straight roads and winding roads, ways to get lost. There are wrong turns that have their prices, and you never know. The devil's always pulling at your soul. The right way is the highway to go. The right way is the highway to go.
Very nice, very nice. Hard way to go, and that when you get how hard is it to manage the trolls as you speak of? I mean, obviously, when you're trying to share a message of enlightenment, a lot of times there's folks that are going to question intentions and everything for you. How do you deal with those kind of issues that you have to deal with in a public eye?
Block, block, ban, you know, I mean, you get them out of there. I mean, I just had for my premiere of my video, somehow these people from, I don't know where they were from, somewhere overseas, got into my account and started putting all these things to take part in the premiere. Click this link, and then it came up and you had to pay to get in. So, and I mean, they bombard as soon as the premiere, like I created an event on Facebook, and all of these Israelis or something came on there and just bombarded. And then people were like going on there, they're like, Jimmy, do we have to pay? I'm like, no, do not. I'm like, ban it. And they're coming from all over the place. It was the weirdest thing. So, but I mean, you got trolls like that, and then you got people that are just mean or want to bring people down. And, you know, you just ignore it. And, you know, I certainly don't partake in giving them back what they want. You know what I mean? The most I'll say is just troll, you know, let that simmer there for a little while and then delete, you know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me. You know, if you're not making an impact if you don't get some people like that. It's just eventually it's just going to happen, you know?
And obviously faith plays a huge role in your life. And how has that helped you go through 2020 that everybody else has been having to deal with the what ifs each and every day?
This has been an unimaginable year, man. I mean, I lost my career. I lost my business. And it's unfathomable to even think about. I mean, literally, I was in a great place. I was touring. I was actually in the Virgin Islands. I toured the Virgin Islands twice a year. And we almost stayed there because we've got some great friends that they're like, stay there, because we thought this thing was going to blow over in 2 weeks, or, you know, that's what they were telling us at first. It was going to be 2 weeks, not a year. And I was like, okay, you know what? 2 weeks is cool, man. A month, I'm cool. Let's do a reset, you know? And actually this Hard Way to Go project came from quarantine, but all of a sudden, you know, it starts to sink in that concerts are going away. We don't know when they're going to be back. The bars are shutting down. Even now that a lot of them are opening back up, I still don't feel comfortable getting back into things. So I lost my career, and so many people have lost their business. And you gotta step back and have faith. The world has just gotten so bad. When it does, especially once the racial tension hit, I wrote another song in quarantine called "Let Love Carry You." You got to get back to the most powerful thing on earth, and that's love. And we all got to love each other and help each other through. So having faith. And then you can't even go to church. It was, we were like, man, we can't even go to church if we want to, and everything's online. And of course, it's really hard to get that connection, but you gotta dig deep within yourself. And I've got a brand new son. He's one now, but thank God he doesn't really realize what's going on. But I got to spend my time and really watch him grow. So you focus on those things. And of course, you've got to do what you got to do financially. I've been doing shows like this from my living room, and thank God I have such a great support system. My fans are absolutely amazing. They've showed up, they've helped support this Hard Way to Go project. Of course, making music videos and promoting them is not a cheap thing to do. So they're helping, they're part of helping get it out there. And, I thank God for them. And I'm just praying that this is done soon. We all need to get out of this soon.
Yeah, a lot of us need to get out of the headspace we're in. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Jimmy, I want to make sure and let all of our listeners know where they can not only find the video, social media, and like you said, touring eventually. So whenever those become available as well.
Yeah, just get on my Facebook. Just search Jimmy Charles on Facebook and like that page, and keep my bulldog's in here. I don't know if you heard someone snoring. It's my bulldog. He's right underneath. Let me see if I can't. You can't see him.
Oh, there he is.
He might be upside down, but that's Hank.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't think we have enough time for me to show you all the animals we've got in the room. That's what, when you were singing earlier, I wasn't responding to you. I have a Yorkie that was trying to get up on my on the recliner, so that's what the problem was.
Yeah. But that's Hank. So you'll see pictures of him too on my Facebook, on my Instagram is Jimmy Charles Music. The video is on YouTube. It's also pinned to the top there's a Facebook thread that's pinned to the top of my Facebook. We're looking at getting, I think, close to 30,000 views in the first week, which is not bad. It's getting out there, but hit that share button. And of course, I'm on Twitter as well, Jimmy Charles 92. And love for you guys, anybody listening that sees the video and all my other music. My whole album is called Hard Way to Go. And there's some fun songs on there too, for sure. But it's on all the Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Pandora. You can find me. I'd love for you to stream, and feel free to send me a message about what you think of some of the songs. Video.
All right. Well, Jimmy, it's been great to visit with you and get to know you a little bit better. And
thank you for having me.
Best of success the rest of the week, and hopefully we'll catch up again real soon.
Absolutely.
Up next is actor and now director, making his directorial debut on this Wednesday night's program of The Conners, Michael Fishman, visiting with us. Michael, always good to visit with you. I hope you're having a good start to your Monday.
Yeah, it's an exciting week. This week is The Conners Halloween, so I love Halloween and I love the opportunity. So it's an exciting time, and I think people are really going to enjoy this episode.
And this one is extra special for you, making a directorial debut. And Michael, how much pressure did you put on yourself personally for your debut performance, if you will?
Well, what I'll say is it's an opportunity. That's kind of the way I look at it. I used to be an athlete, so I like big games and I like moments. The chance to do the Halloween episode, that's such an iconic thing in our show. It really is a legacy for us. It is one of our most technically demanding because of the costumes and the hair and makeup. And, we end up doing pranks and special effects and all of these extra pieces. So it was a huge vote of confidence. And I'm probably the right amount of crazy when it comes to loving this part of what we do, because I love Halloween. And so, and I love the people I work with and I love the crew. So I was ready.
And for you, to maybe tone down your excitement whenever they offered you the opportunity. I mean, how excited were you whenever they first told you that they were going to let you do that?
Well, I really fought for this opportunity. It's one of those things, whenever you transition in any place or any job, people don't like to necessarily see people in new realms because in the beginning you're not sure. And I think the first time you do anything, you really have to earn everybody's trust. So my job was to come prepared, to know what I wanted and needed, and being in charge of the technical side of things is different than being on the creative side. So I was well equipped, and I think my job was to make sure that everybody was ready and to be ready when the opportunity came. And like I said before, it was such a wonderful gift. And this episode centers around the kids in a lot of ways. So to get to empower, Ames McNamara and Jaden Ray, who plays my daughter Mary, this is the first time you really get to see all of her talent. It was great to get to help and empower them in that way.
And for you, you're of an age where the technical side's probably your more comfortable side too, right?
Well, it's interesting. I've spent so many years on the technical side that people aren't aware of. I've worked in every department except for hair and makeup and wardrobe, and I would butcher both of those. So it's for everyone's best interest that you keep me more on the technical manual side of things. So I have been in all these departments, so it gives me a good perspective, and I've always celebrated our crew. It's such a gift to get to transition and collaborate on that side, because as much as everybody knows the talent in front of the camera, we have a world-class team behind the camera, and they're just so gifted. It really is tapping into everybody's strengths and making sure that you're guiding and leading, but trusting people's talent.
And Michael, did it make you maybe appreciate each of the different roles that you'd served in before? It made you understand the importance of every key person?
I think you can't help but know every one of those portions is important. And I've always tried to celebrate that. Coming back this year with the limitations of masks and spacing and things because of COVID-19, I wanted to make sure that I acknowledged our crew. So I gave everybody pins at the beginning of the year and reminded them that I can't shake your hand or do some of the normal stuff that we have done in the past, but we're still here. We're still together. And so I think that really helped set the tone for connecting in that same special way, just doing it within the framework of our limitations.
And how do you see that the Connors, do you think that 2020 has played an effect on maybe the writing and inspiration of the show as well?
Well, we're always so present with our show. It's one of the gifts is getting to tackle really real life and complex conversations and topics within the framework of also finding humor. So, we're diving into aspects of the pandemic, and we're diving into the change in economics and shifting work in this country, and the shift of like the restaurant going to takeout because they can't be open. But also, stories like, DJ and Mary, their stories have never been more relevant with all of the social things that are going on in this country. Being, in an interracial marriage and having a biracial child and the complexity of what's going on in the world and even the election, those are the stories that I love to dive into. And then, DJ's a veteran with his wife who is deployed overseas. And for military families, that's everything. And it is, those heroes are out fighting for us every single day. And that it means a lot to me. My brother actually did his training in Oklahoma, and my dad is a veteran. So those things resonate with me so much, and those are the stories I want to tell, not just here. I fight to tell those stories on the Connors, but I'm also writing and producing other projects to share those stories because I want authentic television that people can relate to and entertainment that people can see themselves in.
And does it make it hard sometimes, like you talked about, being so relevant and so aware? I know the show has always been kind of on the cutting edge of that, and I know you've got to be proud to be on a staff that does that as well.
Yeah, it's really important to me because I think that's where you connect with people. Is people want to be able to share and sometimes commiserate, and you want to be able to share your struggles as well as your successes. And for so many of us, in a lot of times in entertainment, it's all the kind of easy fantasy world. People are not struggling with their jobs. They're struggling with stretching a dollar. But that's what all of us with normal families who have worked normal jobs have done over the years, is you have to find a way. And every time you think you're getting ahead, the car doesn't work, or, I got a transmission problem, and, all of a sudden the kids need a bunch of money for sports, and you got to figure out how do you prioritize and balance and reorganize your assets to get the most out of your life and empower your family.
And Michael, this year, how much has it changed maybe your goal setting looking forward to 2021?
It's funny. I'm an optimist, so I had to take the limitations of this year, as a dad and having a family. We had to bunker down and be more selective. But as a creative person, it gave me time to write and really build other projects. So I'm more suited and more geared towards big dreams for 2021. And I have all these projects I'm meeting to try and sell. And then my daughter and I, in our little place, decided over quarantine that we were going to shoot our own movie in 3 rooms or whatever and just make it happen, because it was a creative outlet for us and a way of spending time together. So I have huge plans over the next few years. I have, a ton of scripted television projects and a bunch of movies that I want to get made. So I got big plans and big dreams.
There you go. And again, the Halloween episode, the Halloween themed episode of The Conners, Wednesday, 9 Eastern, 8 local time on ABC. Michael, always want to make sure and let our listeners know where to keep up with everything social media wise as well.
Well, for me, you can reach me at Reel M Fishman, REEL M Fishman. I always respond across all platforms. And then I do a show to celebrate the technical side during the pandemic. A lot of our people were out of work, so we started this show called Fish's Call Sheet. So FISHS Call Sheet, CALLSHEET. So you can reach me on those social medias as well, or check us out on YouTube, and you get a better idea of what people do in our business and the amazing talent that goes behind the camera.
Well, Michael, always great to visit with you. Looking forward to the new episode, and hope you have a great rest of your week, my friend.
Thanks, Cameron. Stay safe, and I wish you all the best.
And our final guest is rock legend Rob Halford. You remember him as the legendary frontman of Judas Priest. He's got a brand new book, Confess, the autobiography. Rob Halford, no other explanation needed, got a brand new book, Confess, the autobiography we're going to talk about. And first off, Rob, great to visit with you again, sir.
Hey, Cameron, it's good to hear your voice again, my friend. How you doing? Are you keeping well?
Keeping well, keeping distant. We actually got quarantined a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, doing things different, kind of like we've all been doing it this year, right?
That's right, yeah, and it's tough, isn't it? I mean, we've been going through the same kind of things here in Phoenix, in Arizona, where I'm talking to you from today. And I'm sure around Altus, Oklahoma, everybody's doing what they need to do. And, hey, one of the cool things about having this spare time on your hands, if you've got any spare time, is being able to read a book. And, that kind of silver lining that is always there in the clouds is an opportunity to have a delve into the confessions of your metal god. So this is a really, really special time for me, and I'm so happy to be able to share it with so many of my metal maniacs around Oklahoma.
Rob, was it hard to sit down and write? I mean, or was it once you got to, was there a hard point you got through and you were like, okay, that wasn't so bad?
Yeah. I'd like to feel that the way that this book has been put together, it's more of a conversation than anything else. And that's due to the great way that my friend Ian Gittins was able to put my voice onto the pages, so to speak. And in that manner, he was able to guide me through the book in a very comfortable way. And yeah, there were some difficult moments because, that's life. Life throws all these kinds of things at us, like we're dealing with now. And it was a lot of fun. The whole experience, I felt great about making this book, and it's something that I've wanted to do for so long, and now it's out into the world and everybody's getting into it.
Now, was music when you were first coming up? Was music an obvious choice for you, or was it something that maybe you just kind of fell into?
I've had music in my life for as long as I can remember, Cameron. I based the same with you there at the station. You know, it's such an important part of who we are, and I was always surrounded by music, even from a little kid. You know, and then it's growing up and going into my teen years when music is kind of like your only friend, because you hate your mum and dad, you hate school, you hate life, but you love your music. So I went through all of that kind of experience, and the more I listened to music, the more it meant to me. And the fact that I've been gifted with this voice, it was just a beautiful blessing to be able to take the voice and to put it into a life experience of being a singer in a band. And of course, that's what I've been doing with Judas Priest now for pretty much 50 years or more.
How and as you look back at it, what's the biggest thing that sticks out for you about your time as the front man for Judas Priest?
I think it's just the longevity. That's just a remarkable achievement. There are very few bands, metal bands, that have been able to, take this road and to keep it so secure and strong. And we've only been able to do that not only by our own endeavours and determination and self-belief, but with our fans. You know, I've said it a million times. You can't be a band without your beautiful fans that support you. And we have many of our metal maniacs throughout Oklahoma a part of the story in the great life of Judas Priest.
And as everybody now is, there's so many things people are angry about it. A lot of the music Judas Priest was known for was a bit of angst, obviously. How's it feel to have a new generation that are playing your tunes with kind of the same inspiration behind them?
You know, you used a cool word there, Cameron, with the word angst, because everybody goes through angst, especially, again, as you're sorting out your life and you're really realizing the great power that music has for us all, not only enjoyment, but as a kind of a steam valve to just go to a metal show and let loose and go crazy. That's the wonderful thing about metal. And in our case, in Priest, it's an absolute thrill. Each time we come back to Oklahoma, we see some new metal maniacs in the crowd, especially younger metalheads who pick Judas Priest. They choose Judas Priest as their band. That's the greatest honor you can throw at us. With so many amazing bands around us right now in metal, all genres, all different demographics, young and new younger metal bands especially, they're the next leaders in the metal world. So it's just this beautiful metal community that's enduring and keeps us all united.
Now, Rob, you got the autobiography out there, and how important was it for you to get the whole truth rather than stories from he said, she said, any of that kind of stuff?
Well, I'm glad you raised that point, Cameron, because I mean, as much as we all like a little bit of gossip here and there, it doesn't really have any substantial value, does it? It kind of dissipates after a while. So we've made sure that, the anecdotes are important. The stories, they're great stories. Me meeting Superman and Madonna and Lady Gaga and Jack Nicholson and Her Majesty the Queen, and all of these things really happen. But if you put them in the right order and sequence of events, they just have this beautiful flow of all of these different emotions that we share together in life. And so that really, again, is the expertise of Ian. Ian was able to get the balance. It's a bit like making a record, really, Cameron. How records start really strong and powerful, and they take it through the dynamics of the whole album. And I've understood this for the first time. This is the first time I've ever done a book like this. I don't know if I'll have to do another one of this nature, but it's been a great thrill for me as a creative person to share it. And the book is definitely a roller coaster ride, that's for sure.
Now, what was your response the first time the editor come back with an edit idea for you?
Oh, well, again, if I understand your question, we had an enormous amount of material for this book. Like one Chris Smoke albums, we always have an overabundance of material. And then the editing process, the way that you cut away the chaff and get to the real core of the body of what you're creating, that's very, very important. I got a little bit upset, because my publisher were going, we don't need this, we don't need that. I'm like, no, we've got to keep that in. And I say, no, but if you keep too much of this in, it gets too heavy, or it gets too light or whatever. So I relied on their incredible expertise as editors to get the flow so well. So that's really important. It's like, how many verses does a song need? How many bars of a lead break do you need? You have to be really brutal to some extent to get to it's like making a diamond, you've got to be cutting away. And then there's a point where you get the brilliance of the experience, and then, you don't go any further. So that was a real kind of, some days it was like, oh no, another days it's like, yeah, a little bit of everything, but so valuable.
And Rob, I want to make sure and let our listeners know where to find, where they can order the book, where obviously you can pick it up in bookstores, and follow you social media wise as well. Yeah,
all over the place. We have a lot of fun on my Instagram at Rob Halford Legacy. There's 550,000 of us around the world, and we communicate that way in real time, talking about the book and posting pictures and so on and so forth. So that's another way, apart from the obvious online experience.
All right. Well, Rob, it is always great to visit with you. I truly appreciate your time, and hope you have a great rest of your week, my friend.
Thank you so much, Cameron. All the best to you. Stay safe with what we're going through. I wish you all the best for this Halloween and the Heavy Metal Halloween, and all the best for the coming holiday season. And we'll look forward to seeing you when Chris gets back out on the road in 2021.
Sounds good, Rob. Thank you so much, sir.
See you, Cameron. Bye-bye now.
Thanks again for joining us for this 40th episode of Good Questions with Cameron Dole. If you ever have a comment, question, or anything else you'd like to know, find me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at GQwithCam. If you'd like to help out in the funding for this podcast, feel free to click the support tab and follow the instructions. If you have a special guest idea, email me, gqwithcam@gmail.com. We'll be back with more special guests in episode 41 coming up tomorrow.